The G-Wade Podcast with Deacon Dirty.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy G-Wade holding it down, G-Wade Podcast, and I'm kicking it alongside with my man Deacon.
Dirty.
And we got a very special guest on the Zoom call today on the podcast. This is a very powerful interview conversation that I'm looking forward to having with this brother. I'm just going to throw this number out there, and then I'm going to introduce him, and then we're going to move forward from there. So I'm going to say 9,074 days. 9,074 days. And that may not mean anything to you, but it means a whole lot to this brother right here. Anthony Wright is on the Zoom. How you doing, brother?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, man. When I heard about you, when I heard about your story, and it hit me up, man. I was like, yes, sir, please, let's sit down and talk with the brother, man, because I love to discuss with him the things that occurred and where you are today. So, but let's back up just a little bit, and then we'll explain what that 9,774 days means. So you are from Philly.
Right. Born and raised in Philly.
What side?
North side.
North side. Oh, you know, it was the rough side.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean,
no doubt about it.
Hey, man, growing up in Philly for you, how was it growing up, man?
Hey, man, it was, it was the same, cliches, you hear the same stories all the time, man. I came from a single parent home, which was ran by my mother. It said take a village, to raise a child, man. And growing up in my era, that's just how it was. I had an aunt around the corner, uncle up the block, another aunt down the street, and all the neighbors, man. They was like your aunts, and they had to go ahead, to knock you across your head if they saw you doing something you weren't supposed to be doing out in the street.
Right. So a real village, you know what I'm saying?
A real village.
Yeah, I feel you. That same thing with me, man. When I growing up, man, all of my family lived in the same apartment building. Wow. So it was community, village, the whole deal. You know what I'm saying? And so, we'll jump time so that we can get into the story. And I'm gonna say this, it's a kind of, you could say, a very short, for lack of a better, childhood or teenagehood, because in the round about the age of 20, 22, things changed.
20.
Age 20. You had come into some issues with the law, with police.
Yes, insane. And nothing out of the ordinary, man. It was a regular Sunday afternoon, early afternoon, around 1 o'clock. I'm a huge sports fan. Any game come on TV, that's me. I'm glued to the TV watching that game.
Right,
no matter what game it is, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, everything, man. That's what I was into growing up. And this Sunday was no different. I was prepared to watch the football game that came on at 1 o'clock. I was in a home at that time with my mother. I had a young son that was 4 years old. Mm-hmm. And the young lady I was seeing at the time was also there. And her and my mother was in the kitchen preparing brunch. And I had just came downstairs, laid across the couch, right in front of the TV. My son was laying on the floor beneath me playing with his toys. And almost simultaneously, the phone rang and a knock at the door at the same time.
Okay.
And I was laying on the couch, I was closer to the phone, so I reached for the phone. My mother ran out the kitchen into the living room to answer the door.
Okay.
And when I answered the phone, my mother answered the door. She turned around and looked at me. She pulled the curtain. She said, "It's the police." And on the phone was my son's grandfather. Okay. He said, "The police just left here looking for you." My mother opened the door. I said, "Well, they just walked in our house. I'll call you right back. Let me see what they want."
Right.
So when they came in, my mother went crazy. What do y'all want to talk to them for? They wanted to talk to me, but they didn't want to talk to me there at my mother's home. Okay. They wanted me to accompany them to the police administration building here in downtown Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know, my mother went ballistic. What do y'all want to talk to him for? He didn't do nothing, and I didn't do nothing wrong. So they allowed me, I had on some shorts, they allowed me to go upstairs to get fully dressed, come outside, follow the officers to the car. Officers got in front, officers got in the back of me, and we proceeded to the police administration building. And you know, on the way there, I mean, they made small talk about nothing. You know, the whole time, you know, my mind was set on, I mean, why these guys come and get me? And what exactly do they want to talk to me about? So once we got to the police administration building, things took a turn for the worse. I mean, it got real crazy and it got real aggressive, from them wanting to ask me questions to them saying they know I'm the guy that committed this crime.
Okay.
I'm saying, what are you talking about?
And so that's this crime. So, but leading up before you got to the police station, you saying there was small talk, no indications of, you know, you are being investigated, no kind of idea of that you were any type of suspect for any type of crime.
Not an inkling of anything, man. I had they never spoke one time, one word about why we were going down there and what they wanted to talk to me about.
Right.
They was making small talk about nothing. And the whole time, like, I'm really vague. I'm trying to figure out, you know what I mean, why I'm in this car, why I'm taking this ride, what exactly do these men want to talk to me about? Yeah, I mean, you know, I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't know anything about anything that happened that wasn't supposed to happen. Right. So we get down there, they got real aggressive. They threw me in a room. They handcuffed one of my hands to the chair. Wow. They said they know. So an elderly widow was murdered. At the time, she was murdered. Months later, we found out not only was she brutally murdered, but she was also raped. So they said they knew I committed this crime. They said they had witnesses. They said they had evidence that said I committed this crime. For 3 or 4 hours, I repeated the same thing over and over again. Where I was at, my alibi from the time they said the crime happened till they arrived at my house around 1 o'clock. I told them where I was at. I repeated the same thing. I said nothing more. I said nothing less. I repeated the same thing over and over and over again, man. I'm 20 years old. You talking about being charged with first-degree murder, killing somebody. Wow. A 77-year-old woman. I was scared to death. I was in there crying like a baby. I was in there crying like a baby for my mother. And after a few hours of being interrogated, one of the officers brought some papers in for me to sign. He placed the papers in front of me. I was still handcuffed to the chair, and they wanted me to sign these papers. It was all this writing on the papers. I was trying to read what was on the papers. They wouldn't allow me to read what was on the papers. So he covered up, except for where he wanted me to sign my name, where he wanted me to put my initials. I did exactly what they told me to do. They told me if I signed these papers, I can go home. I was in an earshot. I could hear my mother. I could hear my mother out there screaming, I mean, where's my son? What's going on? They told me if I sign these papers, I can go home. I signed the papers. I did what they told me to do. And as soon as I did it, they said, I just confessed to this crime. Wow. They said, I just confessed to this crime.
And they also did this in quote unquote interrogation. When you said they got aggressive, they got it also physical with
also physical, yeah.
Very intimidating.
I had a hat on. They ripped the beak of my hat off. One of the officers nose to nose with me. Said he poked my eye, excuse my language, and another officer down on the back of my neck. I feared for my life at that time, man. I just did what they told me to do. I signed the papers. Like I said, I can hear my mother. They had my mother where I can hear her. I mean, I can hear her screaming at the top of her lungs, where's my son? What's going on? I want to see my son. They told me if I sign these papers, I can go home. I signed the papers and they said, I just confessed to this crime.
Of a statement that was written by one of the officers or some investigator.
That was written by one of the officers.
And they never gave you the opportunity to read it, top line, bottom line, nothing in between.
Not one word on the paper. They wouldn't allow me to read it. Cover his hands so I couldn't read nothing, not a word on the papers, just where he wanted me to put my signature or my initials.
Right. Now, so what happens then? Is there? I'm sure. Were you in the frame of thought like, well, let me ask for a lawyer at this point, or was
No,
just took over everything?
One of the crazy things is I tell people all the time today. Listen to me. I tell people all the time today. 95%. Listen to what I'm saying to you. 95% of the population when they first arrested. I'm talking about when you first arrested, not after you convicted. When you first arrested and you go to the county jail, 95% of the population, including myself, don't know their rights.
Yeah.
I didn't know my rights back then.
Yeah.
And had 95% of us know our rights, 9 times out of 10, we wouldn't even be arrested. 9 times out of 10, every time you get pulled over in your vehicle, 9 times out of 10, every time they come into your home, it's illegal. They do that illegally because you don't know your rights, and they know you don't know your rights. They go ahead and do what they do. And then you're arrested. You're arrested, and then you put in jail. By the time you get to jail and learn your rights, you know, not only have one charge against you, you got like 50 charges against you.
Right.
Now you're fighting an uphill battle. It's crazy. It's insane.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, that's what I tell people, man. Teach your kids to be present. I see a lot of these young people out here, man. I tell them to be present, man. You know what I mean? Learn your rights as a citizen. You got a right as a human being. You know what I mean? As a citizen, man. You know what I mean? When somebody, you feel like somebody is invading your space, you know what I mean? You have a right to question that.
Absolutely.
And 9 times out of 10, if you question that, they know, you know what I mean, what's going on. They'll tell you, don't worry about it. Just go ahead, just be careful next time. That wasn't the case with me. The terminology we use now when somebody pulling a prank on you, we call it being punked. I was waiting for somebody to come tell me I was being punked. Nobody never came and told me that, man. That went on 3 or 4 hours, man, till I was actually charged with this crime. Yeah, I mean, it was the worst day of my life, man.
Yeah. And so, and there wasn't an actual conviction until about 2 years later. So that means you sit in jail, in prison for 2 years.
Yeah, well, what happened was, I was charged in 1991. I was arrested October of 1991. I sat in prison waiting to go to trial for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So I went to trial, and the funny thing is, I knew nothing about DNA at that time. DNA is the thing that saved my life. So I knew nothing about DNA at that time. And DNA at that time was in its infancy stage. I mean, human beings go back 1 trillion years. So DNA exists in all of us. Longer as a human being, longer it was an animal, DNA existed. But as far as bringing this scientific evidence to the masses of the world, co-founded by Mr. Barry Shett and Mr. Peter Neufeld. They're the 2 co-founders of the Innocence Project, the 2 people that brought this DNA, this type of scientific evidence to the masses of the world. So I had just picked I was ready to go to trial 2 years later. And right after I picked my jury, the judge looked down. I'm sitting between both of my lawyers. The judge looked down and said, excuse me, counsel, your client didn't want DNA testing. So, I found my face up like this, trying to figure out what was he saying.
Right.
I looked at my mother, and my mother looked at me and saying, what that mean?
What is that? Right.
Like, excuse me. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like I was being railroaded by the people that was railroading me at that time, the first time around. So I felt like I was being railroaded by these 2 guys. So I took it upon myself. I raised my hand. I said, excuse me, Your Honor. You just posed a question to my attorney as if I'm not sitting there. And you mentioned DNA. I said, I never heard those letters used one after the other in that order. I don't even know what that means. So when he explained it, I literally fell on the floor. I was flabbergasted. This whole case was based on DNA technology. Why wouldn't you guys request this test? So remember, I just told you a few minutes ago, we had just picked a jury, so we're ready to start trial tomorrow.
Wow.
So after the jury, the judge said that. So I told the judge, I said, well, why are we here? We wouldn't be here now if we got that test.
Right.
One thing you must understand about DNA, from 1991, I just told you it was in its infancy stage to the present year. This is almost 30 years later.
Yeah.
DNA is 1,000,000 times better today than it was in 1991 or 1993 when I went to trial. So DNA is the best evidence in the world. DNA is the best evidence in the world. It's the only evidence in the world that you don't need no help with. And it's the only evidence in the world you cannot escape. It says two things. It says yes, it says no. It says guilty, it says not guilty. There's no in between with DNA. So in 1993, after he said that, I said, man, I want the test. You know what I mean? I had a short conversation with my attorney. We told the judge, I like to have his test. He liked to have his test. So he got on a loudspeaker called Cellmark Diagnostic Lab in Maryland.
Okay.
That was the lab we contacted. So they explained to us the procedure of having the DNA tested. After they received clothes in their possession, the test won't start to 3 weeks after they receive the clothes. So we said, cool. So we wanted the test done. So we had to call the jury back in, dismiss the jury. We couldn't keep these men and women that were sequestered for 6 to 8 weeks without being on trial and away from their families. So we had to dismiss that jury. So we ordered the test, and the test came back. The test came back. My lawyer at the time wouldn't even come back to see me and tell me what the results of the test was. I knew what the result was going to be. So I called my father. I said, yo, I need a new lawyer, man. I said, this guy is working with the district attorney, man.
I was going to ask you.
Like, I've been out of court 8 weeks already, and we call this guy every day. I had about 50 people calling my lawyer. He never returned a call, never returned a call to me. My father said, find a lawyer and I'll pay for it. So I did some research on a lawyer. So I called my father. I said, contact this lawyer, man, and speak to him, explain my case to him, and then send him to me, and then I'll do the rest. My father said, cool. He talked, a lawyer came to see me immediately. They called me, came to the jail, pulled me out that night. Wright, you got official visit. I go out there, I'm speaking to the lawyer. His name was Daniel Paul Alva. I'm speaking to the lawyer. I'm facing him as I'm facing you guys. He facing this way so he can see all the traffic coming in and out. So while I'm talking to him, so right after I was arrested, 2 more people got killed right next door to the same house, the same way.
Wow.
A man and a lady. A month later, after I'm in prison, they just arrested this guy a month ago. 2 more people just got killed the same way, right next to the same house. Do they got the right guy? So I got that information. End up talking to the lawyer. As I'm speaking to him, I hear him say, how you doing, Mr. What's my lawyer's name at the time? He said my lawyer name. And when I said, that's my lawyer name. And I turned out it was my lawyer.
Wow.
Bro, the DNA results been in. This guy not telling how many times he came to the prison to see another client, but never came to see me. So when he said my lawyer name, I turned around. It was my lawyer. He's standing there with the file. I snatched it out. I said, bro, what is going on? What are you doing? We've been out of court for 8 weeks waiting on a DNA test.
Right.
Everybody in my family called you to see what's going on. You haven't listened to me or anything. So, I mean, the guards ran in there, separated us. I went in the booth, continued talking with the other lawyer. He said, he said, man, listen, calm down. Go over there and speak to this guy. I go over and speak to the guy. I said, listen, first of all, man, I apologize. This is my life at stake. For what reason? I don't understand why, man. I didn't do anything to anybody. I never hurt nobody, man. So I said, bro, what's going on with the test? He said, the results is back. I said, bro, the results is back. And you're not here to see me this evening?
Yeah, man, wow.
So he said, I said, what's the results? He said, I said, what does that mean? He said, the results is inconclusive. I said, what does that mean? He said, the lab said if they had to put something in black and white, their statement would be, nothing we did can link Anthony Wright to the crime.
Wow.
So I told my dad, I said, Dad, I'm good. I don't need a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The result speak for itself. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing can link me to the crime. Bro, I went in there and went to trial. We repicked the jury. They found me guilty.
Now, was it a jury? Was it a jury of your peers, man?
It definitely wasn't a jury of my peers. It definitely was not a jury of my peers.
Right.
They found me guilty. They found me guilty. I was empty, man. I was dumbfounded. I was lost. I didn't know what was going on. My mother lost it. You know, my mother was screaming, crying. My mother was on the floor. I couldn't do nothing, man. Like, you know, my mother was coming to court by herself at this time.
Mm-hmm.
They found me guilty. My mother screaming, crying. She was on the floor. Some people came and picked her up. We had to take care. So because I was found guilty, it was a capital case, which meant the death penalty was on the table.
On the table, yeah.
The death penalty was on the table. So I come back the next day for the penalty phase, which was another trial all over again. I'm scared to death. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death. So we come in for the penalty phase. They come to the bubble to get me. I wouldn't even move. I just sat there. Anthony Wright, so I just sat there. So the guards looking, everybody looking is quiet. They leave, go get my picture. And when it came back out, I was on the gate. I said, I'm Anthony Wright. They take me down there for the penalty phase, and I just missed the death penalty by 2 votes because everybody didn't say yes, give them death. If one person hold out and say no, it automatically go to a life sentence, and that's what happened to me. So I was fortunate enough that it went to a life sentence.
Like a 7-5 vote or something like that.
Man, I just missed it by like 2 votes. Yeah. I just missed it by like 2 votes, man. 1 or 2 people held out for me. You know what I mean? 1 or 2 people held out, which really saved my life. Yeah, I mean, you know, with the life sentence, man, you know, death row, man, like you locked in a box 23 hours a day. You come out for recreation for 1 hour a day. You literally in a cage that's smaller than your bathroom. That's smaller than your bathroom. So, I escaped that. You know, I had the life sentence. I was able to maneuver around the institution, you know what I mean, where I wanted to go, mainly to the law clinic, you know what I mean, and work on my case. And, you know, when I was found guilty and I went upstate to the penitentiary, I started a routine. Soon I got there, every week I would send out 10 letters. I would go research any legal institution I could find. Anybody that had a law facility, you know what I mean, whether it was a university, whether it was a law firm, it doesn't matter. Whether, you know what I mean, I'd send 10 letters out a week, and it was crazy and it was ironic because something happened that I'm sure nobody else can say it happened. I got a response from every single letter I sent out. Everybody wanted to help me, but it was so far out of their jurisdiction. Back then, the Innocence Project came in the distance. There was one Innocence Project. It was in New York City. I was lucky enough to get my hand on that address, and I wrote them. They was in my first 10 letters I sent out. Out of the first 10 letters I sent out, I got a response back from 9 people.
Wow.
The only person I didn't get a response back from was the Innocence Project. And everybody in every of those 9 letters pointed me in a direction of the Innocence Project. And I couldn't figure it out. I was baffled. I said, all these people pointed me in the direction of the Innocence Project. They was the first people I contacted. Why I'm not hearing from them?
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I continue sending 10 letters out every week. I was flooding everybody. I had a case file from Pennsylvania to Africa. I sent 10 letters out every week faithfully. And then out of nowhere, months go by, I get a letter from the Innocence Project. It was a big manila envelope. It was a questionnaire. They was asking me to fill out this questionnaire. They asked me 1 million questions. I filled it out to the best of my ability, and I sent it back to them. And once again, I kept on sending the letters, 10 letters out a week, 10 letters out. Every time I got a correspondent back from any letter I sent out. They was pointing me to the Innocence Project.
Wow.
And I kept saying, why is the Innocence Project taking their time and dragging their feet?
Yeah.
I didn't know the Innocence Project was investigating my case.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was taking so long. So
I know that the case to determine whether or not it's worth following.
But that investigating my case, it took about 3 years, little over 3 years. And finally, I got the letter I was waiting for, man, it seemed like all my life, when they said they was accepting my case. When the Innocence Project accepted their case, these men and women are so thorough in the work that they do. I want you to understand something. The Innocence Project is a non-profit organization. I'll be 50 years old August the 29th in a few months. I've never met nobody in my lifetime like any man or any woman that worked for the Innocence Project. These people, this is a non-profit organization. These people work on their own dime. These people, because of you, people they don't even know.
Right.
They're away from their families, brand new babies, they pregnant. My lawyer at the Innocence Project, when I first became a client, she was 9 months pregnant. Looked like she was 9 years pregnant. Wow. She refused to take one day off. At that time, when she should have been home with her feet up preparing to, deliver her offspring, she refused to take a day off because of me. Wow. She said, if I have to have this baby in court, I'm going to have this baby in court. And I'm forever indebted to her. Every man and every woman that was ever involved with me, I'm in touch with them every single day.
And so that when the Innocence Project, I guess, got involved, well, that was what, around 1998? Was that?
Yeah. It's crazy. My mother passed away in 1998, and because I had a life sentence, I wasn't able to go see my mother. They wouldn't allow me. My mother was 44 years old when she passed away. Bless her soul. She was 44 years old when she passed away. I was 44 years old the day I walked out of prison 4 years ago. Yeah. My mother was 44 years old when she passed away. I was 44 years old, 6 days from my 45th birthday, the day I walked out of prison. And the day of my mother's funeral, was the very first day I heard from the Innocence Project, believe it or not. My uncle tell a story that when my mother got there, the first thing she said, my son is innocent. He went to God and said to help my son. And I swear to you, the day of her funeral, I'm laying in my cell, pitch black cell, by myself, thinking about my mother and my family. And the guard comes through and something smacked my floor. It was a big manila envelope. And that was the first day that I ever heard from the Innocence Project. Wow. And another story is I sent them a letter, and when I was released, one of the employees at the Innocence Project, he told me, he said, I believe in your innocence. We received a phone call from your mother. And he said, after that phone call, he said, I was convinced that you was innocent. He said, I want you to direct us. And I begged them, please, look at this letter. Yeah. Take a look at this guy case. Yeah. And true to that, they did just that. They took a look at my case, man, and the rest is history, man. I mean, hey, man, them people is an extension of my family. I'm the 344th person that was wrongly accused and convicted of a crime. I'm the 344th exoneree. That means it was 343 people before me. Yeah. And just a little over 4 years now, that number is way over 500. We bringing men and women home every day. Them people at the Innocence Project, man, I could talk about them all day, man. Here, in a physical form, man, in this world. They're my guardian angels. They saved my life, man.
All right, so now in 2011, that's when they actually moved forward with testing your DNA.
Correct.
And so how did that play out?
Again, man, you got to understand, man, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, period, is one of the most corrupt places in America, man. And we litigated this DNA testing for this DNA testing, so we can be granted this DNA testing probably for about 9 years.
Wow.
So we litigated up in a higher court, in the Supreme Court, and they ruled in my favor every single time. But what they kept doing was, they knew I wasn't a guy, and they knew that these people, railroaded me. So what they kept doing was, they kept on reprimanding my case back down to the lower court in Philadelphia.
So
and Philadelphia
kept
on denying me, kept on trying to cover it up, kept denying me, denying me. Like I told you guys a few minutes ago, this is the best evidence in the world. It says two things, yes or no, or guilty or not guilty. There's no in between. If you're sure I'm the guy that committed this crime, why are you denying me this test? That was babbling to everybody.
Right.
We can close this case right now. There's nothing else will be said. I'm in jail. I'm in prison. I'm convicted already. We can finish this case and throw my whole file away.
Yeah.
If you show I'm the guy. So we litigated. So we had what we call a changing of the guards in Pennsylvania with the DNA, the DA. The old regime, man, they was, they was kill type of people, man. The DA at that time was Lynn Abraham, the number one DA at that time. She was the head DA. But her number one guy at that time was the guy, Roger King, and he's probably responsible for 85% of the men and women on death row in Pennsylvania today. Dang. So we had a changing of the guard. We had a new DA coming in by the name of Seth Williams.
Okay.
At the time that he was being sworn in, I was having a hearing in Pennsylvania, and just so happened, a coincidence, that my lawyers bumped right into this guy.
Wow.
And stopped and say, yo, we're such and such, we're from New York City, we over here, we represent Anthony Wright. And he said, I'm familiar with that case. And, they explained to him about the DNA testing. So he said, well, let me see what they rule. So before they ruled, he called and said, y'all want the test? Let's do it. Him being arrogant, let's do it. And lo and behold, you would have thought that the clothes, they would have probably trashed the clothes or disposed the clothes. But Philadelphia, again, being arrogant, they had the clothes in the locker still there.
Wow, still in evidence,
we got a search warrant. My lawyers got a search warrant to go search for the clothes, and lo and behold, there was the clothes. We got the test. I've been waiting for this day, man. When I tell you, it seemed like all my life. Again, first and foremost, once the Innocence Project took my case, I promise you, I swear to you, the day they took my case, I felt like the case was no longer mine.
It was theirs.
You know what I mean? It felt like 1 million pounds was lifted off my shoulders. All I had to do was be patient, do what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? To come out of there. And that took probably 15, 16 years after I became a client. So we got the DNA testing. So they wanted to test. Remember now, DNA, this 2011, DNA testing is 50 times better than it was 23 years prior.
Because now they can literally detect. They can literally detect from like a drop of blood now. It don't gotta be
anything. You touch anything. I'm sitting here sweating. So they wanted to test. They had a sweatshirt without a hood on it. A Chicago Bulls like pullover. They had a pair of jeans
with the suede on it.
And a pair of feline sneakers. So they wanted to test the collar of the shirt. They did the test, and the test came back and excluded me.
Wow.
In any state in America, in any state in these United States of America. Once you take that DNA test and it comes back and said it's not you, you're free to go right then and there.
Right.
So we did the test. They said, okay, that excluded them. Let's do another test. Let's test the armpits. We test the armpits, did a second test. That excluded even more. They said, okay, that excluded them. Let's do the crotch. They did the crotch of the pants. That excluded me even more. They said, okay, that excluded them. Let's do the kneecap. We did about 7 tests, bro.
Wow.
We did about 7 tests. Each test excluded me even more.
Dang.
What did they decide to do? Finally, after 23 years, they decided to bring me back to court for the first time in 23 years since I was convicted. Decided to bring me back to court and vacate my sentence. What that means is I had a life sentence and 4 to 10 years with the life sentence. They vacated my sentence. That means they took the life sentence away. I no longer was convicted with a life sentence.
Wow.
I no longer had 4 to 10. I no longer had all these crazy sentences outside of the life sentence. 11 to 23 months, 2 to 4 years, 1 to 3 years, 5 to 12 months, 17 to 19 months, and it all added up to 4 to 10 years. So they took all of that away, and then they revoked my bail, decided to revoke my bail and hold me additional 2 years to retry me. And I was retried 2 years later in 2016. I was acquitted in the quickest verdict in any criminal trial.
Less than an hour.
Less than a minute. The jury refused. The jury refused to deliberate. When he charged the case to the jury, the foreman said, Your Honor, is you serious? What do you want us to deliberate?
Right.
Not guilty. He said, wait. So what they did was they bought all this lunch for the jurors, and they wanted the jurors to go in the back and eat the lunch. So during the time they was eating lunch, they said that was the time they was deliberating. Came back, not guilty on everything. Not guilty first degree. How you find them in second degree? Each time the foreman read the verdict, she read it historically. How you find the defendant in first degree? She said, not guilty, Your Honor. How you find the defendant? She said, not guilty. How do you find it in third degree? She almost lost her, jumped to the ceiling and said, not guilty. And the judge refused to let me go home with my family. He said, take him to jail one more time. Let his family and y'all go get him from the jail. I told my lawyer, I said, I don't care. I know I'm coming home tonight. Take me back to the jail. And my family and my whole family, my whole entire family and all my legal team came and picked me up from the county jail.
Yeah, and that was on August 23rd.
August 23rd, 2016.
So now you guys, you want to know what that 9,074 days, that's how many days he spent behind bars for a crime that he did not commit.
You got released right before your birthday too, right?
6 days before my birthday. My birthday, August 29th.
Yeah.
I was August 23rd.
Yeah. Wow.
Best birthday I ever had, man.
Best birthday ever.
They gave me a surprise party. I walked in, man. I was with one of my attorneys. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so ironic. My first attorney, when I became her client, when she became my attorney, I told you guys she was 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Fast forward 25 years later, one of my other attorneys, beside the lady that was pregnant, she was 9 months pregnant, about to deliver.
Wow.
My other attorney, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, you know, I gained 2 nieces through that. And it's such a blessing, man. Like I said, you know, I'm in contact these men and women every day. You know, they are stitching up my family. I feel like, you know, I'm forever indebted to them. You know, they saved my life. They my guardian angel. I love these men and women, man. You know, like I love any member of my family, and my family love those guys as well. You know, not only do I have a strong relationship and bond with my legal team, so does everybody in my family, from my mother, my father, my grandkids, my son, my aunts, my uncle, everybody, man. My lawyers call me every day, or I call them. First thing I do every morning, man, before I even get out of bed, I grab my phone and I text every person that was on my legal team good morning.
Wow.
Every day. Every single
Now, did they ever find the person that did the actual crime?
Hey, man, they found so.
I was going to ask you whatever happened to Ronnie Bird. Is that his name?
Ronnie Bird was the man that actually come. You know, it's crazy. And police, they need to train them to, because almost in every case, I bet you, the first person that should be considered a suspect is always the last person to be considered a suspect. This man, 25 years later, 23 years later, after getting a DNA test, the first DNA test, my lawyers called. I'm in the yard, running the yard. I'm in the yard, running the yard, waiting on the results after I took the DNA test.
Yeah.
I'm in there exercising, running the yard. One of the counselor, a woman counselor that I had, she's in the middle of the yard, jumping up and down like she was on a pogo stick. Everybody looking, and so am I. And everybody pointing at me. I got my, they like, bro, they call me Bolo. They said, Bolo, Miss Yost calling you. And I'm like, what's going on? She like, come quick, come quick. And I run over. She said, yo, you gotta come in. Your lawyer's on the phone, it's emergency. And my heart is going. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I get in there, and my lawyer's screaming, oh my God. She said, we got a hit.
Wow.
I said, what you mean we got a hit? I said, calm down. One of my lawyers, she was snap. One of my lawyers, she talked so fast. I love her. She talked so, I said, calm down. What's going on? She said, Tony, we got a hit. I said, what's a hit? She said, we got the I said, who? She said his DNA was encoded. He's in South Carolina.
Wow.
And we're on our way there right now. She said our whole legal team and all. So our investigators go to where we got this guy. He was a convicted felon. So when you're a convicted felon, you cannot leave prison without giving a sample of your DNA. So what they do, they place your DNA inside of a data bank. So if a crime committed, they go in that data bank and see if they can link somebody from that data bank to that crime.
Absolutely, yeah.
And once we took the DNA, we got a hit in the data bank, and the data bank was linked to a man named Ronnie Bird.
Ronnie Bird.
So 25 years later, so when they get there, they knock on the door.
So Ronnie Bird is a free man.
No, listen. So they get to Ronnie Bird. They fly to South. He's in South Carolina.
Right.
So about 10 people from my team fly to South Carolina. They knock on the door. When they get there, somebody open the door. We look for Ronnie Bird. He isn't here. But let me ask, why is 10 white people standing at my door with suits and ties on? What's going on?
Yeah.
So when they tell me what's going on, the guy who answered the door said, y'all better hurry up. He's in the hospital. He's dying.
Wow.
They run to the hospital and he's in a coma.
Dang.
He's in a coma. So we filed a brief real quick to let the DA them know. We promise y'all have the wrong guy, and we knew who the right guy is. So we was playing cat and mouse with them. It was funny. Yeah, I mean, because they was, you could tell they was going crazy. They knew they was in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew the jig was up. What they did to me was bull was in the dark, was down in the light. They knew that. They knew that. So you could tell by their response. So we wouldn't tell them who Ronnie Bird was or give his name, because we didn't want them to go sit by his bedside and say, yeah, what will you tell? It was Tony Wright. What will you tell? You know Tony Wright? This man was old enough to be my grandfather at the time.
Wow.
Are you saying I was 20 years old running the street with this gentleman? I didn't know nobody. So during a investigation, when the crime first happened, they grabbed all these teenagers off the corner that was 14 and 15 years old and told them, if y'all don't say it was this guy, we're gonna lock y'all up for the rest of y'all life and we're gonna kill your parents. You know, so these guys came in and forged false confession and signed their signatures. Fast forward 25 years later, when I go to trial, these young men is now in their mid to late 30s. Right. They all came to court and told the truth. We don't know this man. They made us say that. Everybody came to court, got on stage, stand, said they never saw me, don't know me. They know Ronnie Bird. He was a crackhead. He was squatting right next to this lady's house. The first person should have been investigated is always the last. And lo and behold, this guy died before he could be questioned. He died, which was a bad thing. So we found his daughter. We actually found his daughter in South Carolina, and she had a crazy relationship no relationship with him at all. From the time she was born to the time she could understand yes or no, she was taught her mother was killed when she was an infant.
Wow.
She was raised to believe that her father, Ronnie Bird, killed her mother.
Wow.
And she was willing to come to court for me. Didn't know me, didn't know my team, to come to court on our behalf. You know what I mean? To say what type of scum her father was.
Right.
This guy was. And so he died, and we went to court, man. And in the trial, man, like, I mean, it was insane. The jurors never happened. The jurors refused to leave the courtroom. They wanted to hug me.
Yeah.
They wanted to hug me.
Yeah.
They wanted to see me. They wanted to talk to me. They wanted to feel me.
Yeah.
They refused to leave the courtroom. Like I said, the judge refused to release me at the court, made him shackle me again, take me back to the prison. And the whole jury came back the next day to meet me at my attorney's office on August the 24th.
Well, let me ask you this. Why do you think 25 years ago, they chose Anthony Wright, Tony Wright, to be the suspect or the main suspect in that case?
That's a $1 trillion question. Even today, I think about it every day. You know what I mean? You know what happened to me, you know, for that 25 years. I mean, it don't consume my life for one day, for 1 second of any day that I've been a free man.
Right.
I'm happy I'm home. I'm happy I'm with my family. I'm blessed way beyond probably I'm supposed to be. You know, this city embraced me in a way I couldn't imagine. Everybody, man.
Yeah.
You know, my son was 4 years old.
Yeah.
You know, 29 when I walked out. He's 33 years old today. You know, my son always been down with me from day one. He never wavered. He's always stood on a belief that his dad didn't do it. You know, I actually talked to my son about changing his name at one time. He said, absolutely not.
Wow.
I'm absolutely not changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not ashamed of nothing. Who you is, who I am to. You know what I mean? Who we are. Yeah, I mean, we in this together.
Yeah.
I mean, my son told me that when he was 11 or 12 years old, just like that. I just lost my mother. And then right after that, his grandfather passed away, probably two most influential people in his life at that time. He said, bro, I'm here, Pop.
Yeah.
We all we got, man. My son always been with me, man. He's giving me two beautiful grandkids, and it's crazy. Today is my grandson, Anthony the third. We call him Trey. My son is Junior, of course. I'm senior. My grandson is Anthony the third, Trey. Today is his 3rd birthday, man. And I missed my flight this morning. I had an 8:40 flight. I'm supposed to be in Atlanta. I missed my flight, not knowing it was spring break. I got there, and it was at least 5,000 people in front of me in line. I would have never made it to. So I was able to get a later flight out late tonight. So I'll leave late tonight, go to Atlanta. You know, I just bought a huge home here up this way, not in Philadelphia, not in Pennsylvania, outside of here. I just bought a huge home, but until my home is built, I moved my family to Atlanta in October, just until the end of this month, March. And my house was supposed to be ready. It's not quite ready, but it's not far away. So I have a couple more days that I'll be in Atlanta. I'm just going out there to pack my stuff up, get back home, my cars and all my belongings. So I'll be back up this way in a couple of days, man. But Atlanta is definitely my second home, man. I'll be out there anytime I need to be, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll jump on that plane, you know what I mean, every other day if I have to. It's not a problem.
Now, when you came home, how difficult was it? And I ain't gonna hold you much longer. How difficult was it to because you know now we talking about your whole 20s, 30s. How difficult was it to like reacclimate?
It wasn't, you know, and so many people could attest to this in regards to me. Mm-hmm. People see me be like, man, ain't no way he was locked up 25 years. How you doing this? How you like maneuvering the way you, because, you know, I tell, you know, I used to try to mentor all the young people coming into prison, man, and just embrace them and wrap my arms around them and try to help them people get their mind right. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like I was in the right place. Yeah, I mean, I had God first, and from the first day to the last day, it was no different behind that wall. I didn't like it. I didn't want to be there, and I wanted to be out of there. And every day I was there, that's what I did, man. I made a move to prove that I was innocent and that I wasn't the guy that committed this heinous crime against this woman and her family. Yeah. And I tell guys all the time, man, don't become institutionalized, meaning, I mean, be able to think outside the box. Each year you in prison, man, each year you're away from your family. Each year you're in prison. Each year you're away from your community. Each year you're in prison, you get a year older. Each year you're in prison, the older your mother get, the older your father get, the older your aunts get. Some people, they just let the oldest living juvenile life out about 3 months ago. 63 years I was in prison with this man. Wow. So shortly after I was exonerated and released, a law became retroactive, meaning that men and women that committed heinous crimes when they was teenagers, they're not liable. Their brain was not liable for them. Their sin to be life. So what they did, praise be to God for this, they brought all these men and women back and resentenced everybody. Wow. Over thousands of men and women have come home because of that law. They was lifers, they juvenile lifers, but they juvenile that's on parole now. Yeah. And it's a guy by the name of Joe Legion. This man been in prison for 63 years. He was the first person they tried to bring home. He refused to come home. He said, I've been in jail 63 years. We all want me to go. This is my home. Wow. He refused to come home, except for 3 months ago. He just came home. 63 years in prison. Dang. I mean, my mother wasn't even born when this man went to prison. 63 years. 63 years. So, but I never got caught up into all the things that was going on behind the wall. I mean, again, fortunate for me, I had my family down with me the whole time. A guy that really became my brother during that time, his name is Darnell Fisher. We call him Fish for short. This guy stood toe-to-toe with me, man, for 25 years, visit me every week, brought my son up there, my mother, my lady, made sure I went to commissary every week, made sure I had phone time every week. I didn't need for nothing, and my parents, man, my mother, my stepmother, my father, man, in Florida, man, did it as well, man, and I never got caught up in the things that was going on behind the wall. I mean, I was confined physically, but my mind was always free. Yeah. And I let it use my mind as it was free. Yeah. I mean, though my body was in prison, my mind was outside of prison. Right. And unlike other guys, I thought about this moment every day. I saw it. I saw it. So when it became reality, it was natural to me. It was like I never left. It blows a lot of people's mind. Like, I've been coming and going by myself, got in the car, I had to get my permit first with my lady, man. I've been driving myself back and forth since day one. I mean, I've been doing what I do, maneuvering, man, since day one, man. Like, yo, there's no way this guy been locked up.
So post prison now, are you involved in any kind of way in the Innocence Project or prison reform or
Prison reform? That's my life, man. You know what I mean? You're speaking to you guys.
yes,
You know what I mean? You know, I was once, you know what I mean, behind that wall. You know what I mean? Nobody heard my voice. You know what I mean? I feel like it's an obligation of mine to speak for those men and women that are still confined behind those walls. I'm the 344th exoneree.
Yeah.
That was 4 years ago. That number is over 500. How many wrongful people that are in prison in every state? But not only that, who don't believe in second chances?
Yeah.
There's so many men and women in prison that could be pillars of the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many men and women in prison that can stop a lot of this nonsense that ails what's going on in our community today. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these young boys didn't have no male structure in their life. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these young people come from single parent homes, which was raised by their mother, their father in prison. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these young people are so emotional, man. Yeah, I mean, you know, growing up, man, we had a problem. We'd duke it out, if anything.
Yeah.
We didn't want to kill nobody.
Absolutely.
We didn't want to hurt nobody. You know what I mean? These kids ain't born bad.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? You know what I mean? You know, I have to believe, I mean, seeing it, if somebody would have told me it was like this in the streets in our community, I looked at them like they was crazy. This is heartbreaking, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? See these boys, 12, 13, 14, young girls, man, like it's crazy, man. You know what I mean? I'm just one person. I'm trying to do my part. You know what I mean? I embrace every young person I see.
Yeah.
A lot of adults run away from these people. A lot of adults are scared of these people.
Yeah.
We got to embrace these young people. We got to put our arms around them, man. We got to show them there's a better way. We got to be example. I want to be example for these people. I got 2 grandkids. I settled a lawsuit. I settled the biggest lawsuit in Pennsylvania ever.
Wow.
I could have went to court and settled for $100 million. How much money you need to live? Don't no amount of money equal what they took from me. You can't put no dollar amount on that.
No, sir.
I settled my case because they insured me. My grandson, who just turned 3 today, 13 years from now, when he's 16, his fate won't be with mine. That's part of my lawsuit. That's a law that I changed. 10 years from now, my granddaughter, when she's 16, her fate won't be what mine is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to protect my kids.
Absolutely.
I want to protect your kids.
Absolutely.
I want to protect her kids. I want to protect all the kids in the community, man.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You know what I mean, it wasn't like this, man. And also, police officers did this to me. Not all cops are bad.
Right.
There's some bad cops, but there's a lot of good cops as well. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at the cops. Listen, I'm a God-fearing man. You know what I mean? I'm American. I'm a Muslim. I practice Islam, man. You know what I mean? I believe as a human being that we are here for the calamities of the world, no matter what it is, the trials and tribulations of the world. As human beings, I believe we are here for that. As Muslims, we strive for something else. We believe in a life after that. We know this life is temporary. We just want our good deeds to outweigh our bad.
Bad, right.
Don't nobody wake up and say they want to go to jail.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to go outside your door, walk outside your door and get shot. You want to walk outside your door and come back inside your door the way you went out.
Absolutely.
You don't want to rob nobody. You don't want nobody to rob you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, things happen, man. You know what I mean? You know, I believe God, you know what I mean, will take care those that take care of him. You know what I mean? Invoke his name. I mean, he'll take care of the people that wrong me. I don't think about those people. You know what I mean? I don't wish no ill will on nobody. I have a family. I don't want nobody to wish no ill will on me. My family depends on me. My grandkids need me. My son needs me. My aunts need me. I just buried my uncle 4 days ago. My family needs me. My grandmother, 96 years old, they need me. My mother couldn't have me, man. You know what I mean? My family need me. I need my family. I mean, like, I mean, it's crazy, man. I don't wish no ill. I don't think about those men. I don't think about those men or those women that did that to me. You know what I mean? I think about now. I think about tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think about I'm alive, I'm healthy. You know what I mean? I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got my family. That's what I think about, man. No crazy vibes come from me, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the dark for 9,074 days. You said it. I promise you. Anytime you see me, you're going to see a smile on my face for the next 9,074 days. You know what I mean? Even the tears, bro. Those tears of joy.
Yeah.
I have nothing to be sad about.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, man. I'm blessed way beyond imagination today. I have nothing to be sad about, man. So I got my health. I got my family. I'm good.
So are you working on a documentary or? I'm
working on a documentary, man. It's going extremely well.
Okay.
Oh man, this documentary grow legs every day, man. Show me, it's way beyond what we envision and imagine. It's crazy right now, man. Mm-hmm. Everybody want to be involved. Everybody is involved. Also, I have my first biography about to come out. The Anthony Wright story, Live to Tell, probably within the next month. Okay. I mean, within the next few weeks, we'll be dropping that. I mean, my first biography, man. I mean, I'm excited about that.
To be able to view this, is this a book or are you talking about?
It's a book. Yeah, it's my book.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's my first book.
Okay.
My first book, man. Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
So
awesome.
Everybody's been waiting on it. I think now is the right time. It's being published by Zilbris Publishing Company out in Indiana. They're excited. I'm excited. My whole team is excited. I can't wait to present it to the masses of the world.
Yes, sir.
You know, a lot of educational purposes. You know what I mean? It's a great read.
Yeah,
it's a great read. It's about my life, man. You can learn so much from it about what I went through, man. You know, I used to read a lot when I was in prison. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I used to read books. I used to read about guys that was in similar situations, such as I. You know what I mean? How they endured that situation, how they overcame that situation. You know what I mean? You know, I look for any positive thing to build my strength.
Yeah.
That was the hardest thing I ever had to do, man, getting up every day. That was the hardest thing I had to do. For now, that was the hardest thing I had to. My son needed me, man. I refused to give up, man. I refused to give up, man. I refused to give up. You know what I mean? Thinking about my son, man. Every time I thought it was hard, my son's face popped in my brain everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Gave me the boost I needed that day, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I read about these men, George Jackson, Marcus Garvey, all those people, man, Martin, Malcolm, man, you know what I mean? You know, those type of people, man, you know what I mean? You know, that's where I drew my strength from, man. And my mother, man, she was the strongest, not female I knew, she was the strongest human being I ever met in my life. My mother suffered so much, you know what I mean, through abuse. And she endured that and overcame that and became the butterfly she became before she passed, man. Yeah, man, I'm so proud of her and wherever she at in the garden, I know she sees me every day. I know I made her proud.
Yes, sir. Now, so you know, well, quick question before we let you get out of here. Have you ever spoken to the family of the
Hey man, I'm about to knock your socks off. Hey bro, listen. So for years, while I was having all these hearings, nobody ever showed up for this family. My whole team is in there. Nobody ever showed up for Mrs. Talley's family.
Wow.
In this case, her name was Miss Louise Talley. Nobody ever showed up for her family.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to 2011, 12, 13, when my case really started picking up steam and the media started getting it. So she had a great niece. Her name is Shannon Coleman.
Okay.
Shannon Coleman has 2 kids, Lauren Coleman and Devin Coleman. And her kids wasn't even born. Our daughter wasn't even born when her aunt was murdered, her great aunt. So when our daughter became of age, she told her daughter the story of her aunt being murdered. Wow. And Anthony Wright, the guy that murdered her aunt, the guy she hated, hope he died in jail. Fast forward to 2014, our daughter is a college student and came across an article and rewinded a tape in her head of a story similar to what her mother told.
Yeah.
Called her mother and said, Mom, I think that the guy you said killed your aunt, they about to let him go. Her mother said, no way. What you looking at? She sent her mother all the articles, and her mother immediately did her own homework, her own research.
Yeah.
And within a short period of time, her mother came to the conclusion, oh my God, it's the wrong guy in jail. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Her mother did the research about DNA. Her mother said, I'm sure this is the wrong man. Y'all got in jail all these years.
Wow.
My lawyer is in their office, minding their business. They phone ring. Hello, can I speak to? Who's calling? It's Shannon Coleman. I'm the great niece of Louise Tyler. My lawyers thought somebody was pulling a prank on them. My lawyer said, what's going on? She said, I'd like to get involved. I believe your client, Anthony Wright, is the wrong man in prison. He said, what'd you say? She drew up a petition and she needed 5,000 signatures. Within 20 minutes, she had about 50,000 signatures on it.
Wow.
And a family member came to the jail to tell me that, sitting in the chair right here beside me. I fell on the floor in the visiting room.
Wow.
I said, bro, stop pulling my leg, bro. What type of games are you playing?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm crying in the video. I'm like, bro. He said, bro, you on your way. It's over. He said, we know it's over. Yeah, I mean, like, and me and that lady are best friends today.
That's what's up.
Our niece and nephew, our daughter and son refuse to call me anything but Uncle Tony. They bonded in my life as well. And me and the victim in my case, Miss Tally, me and her great niece are best friends today. Wow. I love her to death. Shannon, if you're looking, I love you. I'll call you later. We're best friends today. Me and her daughter and her son are my niece and my nephew.
Well,
true that.
Well, because we running out of time. Where can people find out more information about you? Are you on social media? Are you doing all of that?
Hey man, I'm on social media everywhere, man. So we all have a new page. Let me get to it, man. My man Ike got me looking real good in these streets, man. It's Anthony underscore official.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Anthony underscore official.
You said
Anthony Wright, excuse me, Anthony Wright underscore official. Okay, I'm learning this is my new page. We just created, you log on there, you'll find out everything I'm doing, everywhere I'm at. You'll find out about the book, about the documentary, even if I'm in a town near you. So we rocking and rolling, man, and we out here doing our thing, man. We trying to teach the truth to the youth, educate the people, and trying to do my part, man, to help bring our community back. Whatever community I'm in, man. Any community I'm in, I feel like it's mine, man. I'm a part of that community. Anything I can do to assist anybody in that community, man. I'm just a phone call away, man. This is my page on my IG page, Anthony Wright underscore official. Reach out to me. My number, my contacts, all that stuff under there. I'm right here, man. You can touch me anytime you want, man. I embrace that. I love it, man. I love my people. I love my people and I believe in my people, man.
That's what's up. But man, your story is amazing, man. I thank God that for him, being with you this whole time through the process, man. Your spirit, your energy, man. The light is around you, man. You know what I'm saying? You could have come home bitter. You could have come home angry at the prosecutors, angry at the cops, angry at the kids that confess, accuse you of doing it, man. You could have been upset at everybody, man. But I don't know, man. There's something, I don't know what it is, but something, man, just got you in the right frame of mind, man. And, you know,
God right there. That peace, that's God.
yeah,
And listen, man. Listen, some is happening in Philadelphia that's real crazy, man. That I'm trying to process it. I'll never be able to wrap my brain around it, man. The man, the very man that tried to prosecute me 25 years later, the second time. So the new head DA in Philadelphia, amazing man. He's a stand-up type of guy.
Okay.
And not only him, but his whole regime.
Okay.
Everybody down there doing what they're supposed to do. They're doing it the right way, and they stand on every word that come out their mouth. Everything they say they're going to do, they do. But not only that, guys like myself, and there's 100 other men and women just like me out here, we hold their feet to the fire, and they stand on their word and do what they're supposed to do. Yeah. And lo and behold, the guy that tried to prosecute me the second time around 4 years ago, name is Carlos Vega, man. He the modern day of the regime that sent me to prison. He the modern day version of those people. And this new guy, Larry Krasner. So the DA that allowed the DNA testing. So right after I was released, he went to jail. What? I didn't tell you guys that. No. The black guy, the head DA, he went to jail. He went to jail not because of me. He's the one that decided to revoke my bail and retry me. But right after I was released, he went to jail for a lot of corruption he was doing, mainly to his mother, a lady that adopted him. And lo and behold, upon my release, I was offered and given a job at the federal courthouse in Philadelphia. And the DA that revoked my bail and took me back to trial for a second time, when he was arrested and coming to court, I was the guy that was opening the door from the other side for him. Yeah, I mean, this time with a big smile on my face. So he was convicted and went to jail. I think he was given a sentence of 5 years because of this pandemic. They let him out early. Yeah, I mean, somebody had a heart and decided to let him out early. So he's out here now. But the guy that presided over my trial the second time around, the DA. So when a new DA came in, when that guy went to jail, his name is Larry Krasner. So after I was released, he fired everybody. The guy that took me back to trial. And now the guy that came up from the dead that's going against him is the very guy that took me back to trial in 2016. So I'm a part of that campaign for Mr. Krasner. You know what I mean? Letting everybody know why he should be reelected. We got a few commercials that's about to be aired with me in them, and I'm about to go door to door, knocking on everybody's door, making sure they out voting. I mean, it's your right. Again, absolutely talking about your right as people, as people of color, bro. We so quick to judge. No other people do that. No other ethnicity group, no other community. Nobody do that for us. You know what I mean? So we don't believe the poop stink until we smell it and then it hit home. We don't get involved until it's one of our family members. By that time, it's too late.
Too late.
It's too late. You should have been involved. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. A ball is a ball. A strike is a strike. You're part of this community. You got to use your voice, man. And there's no right bigger than, as a citizen, your right to vote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Either way, you got to vote. You know what I mean? For who you want in office.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these people get in office that we don't want in office because you don't take it upon yourself and use your civic duty the way you should. That's the biggest right you have as a human being, as a person. You got to use that in your voice. You got to use that. So we definitely don't want this guy to get in office. And if he does, I'm telling you now, I won't be living in America, nowhere in the United States at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy is evil. This guy's a racist. This guy's corrupt. Everything that's bad is this guy, Carlos Vega. Nothing good can come from this guy, man. This guy's evil. This guy he's a modern day lyncher. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, this is bad, man. So we don't want this guy to get in office. So the DA race is about to take place in Philadelphia, man, and I'll be here hitting the street. You know what I mean? Doing my part, man.
Right.
Mr. Krasner reelected and making sure this other guy don't step 1 foot in nowhere but his house.
Now, have you gone back to the neighborhood where this all began? The house.
Every day, I'm there. I drive past there every day.
Okay.
I drive past there every day.
You feel any kind of way?
Nothing, man. Nothing. I drive there. I mean, because especially when I came home, like all my lawyers, they wanted to see it. Took them there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Family. I mean, everybody there. You know what I mean? Every time I ride past there, I have somebody in my car. I say, yo, this is the place they took me from, you know what I mean, such and such years ago, right here from my mother's house. Walk me right, and people be like, oh my God, this is crazy. You know what I mean? It's insane. You know what I mean? So I still have a lot of friends back that way. I mean, people I've met while I was incarcerated, you know what I mean, from that area. You know what I mean, that I see. I mean, I'll stop, pull over and see what's up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go get something to eat. You know what I mean? We might go get a drink or something. So,
yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of friends up there, man. I mean, a lot of family back up that way, man. So, I mean, it doesn't have any bearing on me, man. I mean, I think about it right then. I mean, when I passed it, but after I ride past, my mind go back to wherever it was on. I mean, listening to the music. I mean, enjoying my ride. I mean, so forth. I mean, I don't dwell on that stuff, man. I promise you, I don't. If you're mad, you're mad all the time. What happened to me changed my life, changed my life forever. I mean, I know that. Everybody know that. But if you forgive, I mean, you can move on with your life. I'll never forget what happened to me, but forgive, man. I mean, that's God's problem now. It's not mine, man. And if I saw any one of those men or women that did that to me, man, kids, men or women, man, I'll say, God bless you. I'll just wave and smile and keep on going. If I know it was them, man. I don't hold no ill will towards nobody, man. I don't wish no bad, no harm on nobody, man. I mean, it's a God, man. You know what I mean? To him, from him we come, to him we return. You know what I mean? We all got a time and a date for that, man. I mean, he dealt with that, not me, man. I mean, life too short to be dwelling on stuff and holding grudges and all that, man. I mean, it's so much evil going on in the world, especially this past year and a half, man. Like, how can anybody be mad at anybody for anything? You know what I mean? You friends with somebody, you love somebody, man, share that with them, man. Every chance you get. I don't waste a minute with not one of my family members, man. I tell them how much I love them till I'm blue in the face, man. I call just to hear your voice, just to tell you I love you. I call my son every day, man. I just want to hear your voice in my ear, man. Yeah, I mean, FaceTime, we FaceTime 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. And they do the same thing. I just call, just want to hear your voice, just want to check and just tell you I love you.
And
life too short, man.
Shout out to your son, man, who's been your soldier, man, who's been your ride or die.
Oh, man, it's my guy, man. He's an unbelievable kid, man. He's 33 years old, bro. I'm 50. I tell people, I was 20 when they took me. I said I'm gonna be 20 when they released me, man. So my 25th birthday is coming up. I'm 50, man, but I feel half of that. Yeah, man. But I got a 33-year-old son, man. That's the only time I might feel my age just a little bit, man. Yeah, I mean, that's my guy.
Y'all share something in common because y'all like sports. In fact, football was your thing because I saw you. I guess you were even just playing even while in prison. You were playing football and everything, right?
Yeah, that was my thing, man. I got a short documentary on YouTube. You can Google it. Tony Wright Finally Free. A short documentary with me and my son on there. NBC Sports did that. You know what I mean? It was a documentary in regards to exoneree, me being exoneree, somebody that played sports. You know what I mean? Growing up. You know what I mean? Football, that was my thing. And it also was my son thing. And it also helped bridge the gap for me and him. You know what I mean? While I was in prison. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he used to be in that yard, man. When he was a baby, man, I used to put that little sponge Nerf ball in his gut all the time. He used to early in the morning. Yeah, I mean, he get up before me, man. You know, all he want to do, pop. I mean, Dad, you know what I mean? He want to get the football, throw the football.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's his thing. He still play even today.
Okay.
At 33 years old, he plays semi-pro. You know what I mean? Here and there, man. So, you know what I mean? There's a couple leagues that he engages in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I go out there every chance I get, man, and try to relive. I mean, you know, the time that I wasn't there, man, and those be the happiest days to have me and his mother on the sideline at the same time. I mean, screaming his name, man. I'm a fool out there, man. I'm a fool. I love the game, man, and I love to see my son out there competing, doing his thing. Yeah, I mean, you know, we both different people, man. Yeah, I mean, when we on that field, man, we turn into somebody else, whole total different people, man. We animals on that field, man. Anything goes. I don't care. And I did it without equipment, as if I mean, you know, in jail it was suicide.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it was a way for me to channel positive energy. You know what I mean? I didn't want to kill nobody, but you know what I mean? You know, you had a problem if you played against me.
You had a problem. Look, you had a problem.
You know what I mean? Every time I took the field in there was must-see TV. I promise you, every man and woman that wore that uniform on. Olo was on the field that day. They was getting that yard. They was getting that duty. I got the yard today. Olo playing that day. Somebody going on the stretcher. You know what I mean?
Funny.
So we did our thing, man. You know what I mean? It was all love, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, I try to channel my energy, man, in the best possible way, man. I always kept a smile on my face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I always respected everybody in there. Everybody always got to respected me, man. You know what I mean? You know, and that's where it was, man. I mean, you know, 25 years, man. I never had a problem, one single problem, man. Just that I was there and I shouldn't have been there. You know what I mean? And, you know, I was like the elephant in the room. I'm guilty. Everybody in prison say they're guilty. Everybody, what? Until I proved it, man. And everybody, oh, I knew that wasn't you. That's my man. And, I mean, I gave the same response I did while I was there. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. And keep it moving, man. But my case opened the door for
many cases.
For many cases. Everybody now, and somebody just sent me my case in the mail. I just got it about 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I got family members that work there. They said, you can't go nowhere in no prison without people mentioning your name all day. They said everybody, every inmate in every cell in every prison have your case filed. And they said, my case opened the door for everybody.
Give them hope, man.
Yeah, man, until we open the door.
You're the great hope.
Oh, man. And plus, before the pandemic, man, the guards think I'm crazy, man. As soon as they let me out that front door, I went right back to see my comrades. I'm at the prison. I take care of over 30 men in prison, man. I feed about 30 men in prison, man. You know what I mean? Money orders, pictures, see families, check on their mothers, check on their kids. Yeah, I mean, and I do all that, man. I feel like it's an obligation, man. Yeah, I mean, so I was once in their shoes, man. I'm in a position where I can help, man, and I'm doing that, man. I'm doing that, man. Trying to bring the people home, man. They're supposed to be home, man. That's all I'm doing, man. I mean, I'm doing what somebody did for me, man. Somebody helped me. I'm just trying to pay it forward by helping somebody else. I mean, how can you thank somebody for what they did for me? You can't. Yeah, I mean, you pay it forward. So when somebody mention my name or my lawyers mention their name, when somebody mention my name, I want them to have the biggest smile on their face and glad that they did what they did, man, fought that fight, that good fight to bring me where I'm supposed to be at with my family, man. I'm forever grateful for that, man. I'm forever indebted to those people, man. I tell you that a million times, man. They are my family. I love them to death. And I'm no longer a client, and they check on me every day as if I'm a client to make sure I'm good. They know me all too well. You know what I mean? They know when the day is not going too good and all that. And they won't hesitate to jump in their vehicles and come across that bridge to come to sit in front of me and see what's going on, man. I love them for that, man.
That's good, man. Well, once again, man, you know, I thank God for for everything that worked out in your favor, man. DNA is amazing. And we're glad that, praise God that you were exonerated, that you're out here fighting the good fight, doing the work of the people, man, and really just, moving forward and not bitter, man, not angry at nobody, and not, turning around and just taking your frustrations out on the world. You know what I mean? Because you could have easily done that, but
a lot of people do, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people do, man. Yeah, I mean, every time a man or woman exonerated, from here, they reach out to me to kind of communicate with these people, man, to try to embrace them. Yeah, I mean, I and every time, man, I'll crawl to do that if need be, man. I mean, you got to live your life, man. You have to live your life. I can't imagine walking around angry, man.
Yeah.
The joy I get, man, when I'm around my family, which is every day. The joy them people bring me, I don't have time to think about nothing else.
Absolutely.
I don't want to think about nothing else, man. My grandson, like I said, is 3 today. He called me. Papa, you know what the day is?
Yeah.
That's my life right there. I live for that. I live for those moments, man. I live for those moments. I mean, we're going to get out of Ohio and we're going to party like it's 19. So my granddaughter's birthday was last month, the 24th. And my grandson's birthday is the day, the 25th. So I'm going to go give them a joint party together.
That's what's up.
And we're going to get them whatever they want, man. So they got pop-up wrapped around their finger. They already know that. Tell everybody, pop-up, give me what I want.
Yeah.
They get in trouble a lot for that. So you can't tell everybody that.
That's funny. Well, once again, man, where can people find you at? What's that IG page again, bro? And that website?
Oh, Anthony Wright _official is my IG page, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm there. You can follow me on there. Everything I'm doing in the community, everything. Wherever I'm at, is always on there. My first biography about to come out, the Tony Wright, the Anthony Wright story, Live to Tell, should be out in a few weeks. That's my first biography. I'm excited about that. And right after that, we're going to drop this documentary about my life, not just about my life, just about prison reform, wrongful conviction. It's about myself, a bunch of other exonerees, so many people involved. It's going to be a beautiful film. I'm excited. I'm excited to the point of no return. I can't wait for that. I can't wait to drop that. I'll keep you guys posted through my IG page. When we're going to drop that. We're going to do the biography first and then the documentary, man. I'll keep you guys posted every day on it for sure.
That's what's up. Well, once again, brother, man, you continue to keep that light shining, man, and keep you keeping hope alive, man, for these people out, that's in there, knowing that they're wrongfully convicted, man. So keep doing a good fight, man.
Thank you, appreciate it, man.
What's up? It's your boy G-Wade holding it down, G-Wade podcast, and I'm kicking it alongside with my man Deacon. Y'all know what it is.
The G-Wade Podcast. Bringing you the cool interviews, the hot topics, and all that other crap. The G-Wade Podcast with Deacon Dirty.